So I feel an enormous amount of pressure to get this right. I want to win that car.
Yeah.
All right.
13-2.
13-2 overall.
13-2 overall.
Against the spread through week 3. Can I keep it up?
I don't know if I can keep it up. 3 weeks, but hell of a 3 weeks.
Greg stole a lot of my mojo this week by picking 3 of the same games that I have. This is probably a sign of imminent doom for my good record. That Greg picked 3 of the same games as me.
Or
it is a sign of
or it's a sign that you're just a genius and your brother's just trying to ride the coattails.
I had no idea.
Trying to ride the coattails to 3 wins.
He didn't know I was picking those games.
I had no idea what he was picking. Those all came from up here.
So, all right. Here we go. My first pick, one that no one else picked, North Carolina State plus 8.5 at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, we all know what they do. They are running their crazy option with Josh Nesbitt, who's an incredibly effective runner.
I think
they have plenty of running backs. Yeah, I think they've thrown the ball less than 10 times the whole season.
Yeah, all season.
NC State has allowed less than 3 yards a carry in all 3 of their games so far. They have Russell Wilson, who's playing tremendous at quarterback right now. They're coming off a big win against Cincinnati. I think Georgia Tech's the best team that they've played so far. But I like them to at least keep it within a touchdown.
Yeah.
At least within a touchdown.
I like that pick a lot.
Tech has had their down game. They lost to Kansas. You don't know what you're going to get from them. I think they're going to play well against NC State. It's an ACC conference game between 2 teams that I think feel they have a chance of possibly going to the ACC championship. Who knows in that conference right now?
I mean, the conference is so up in the air. I mean, Clemson is pretty much is leading the pack, and on that side of the division for Georgia Tech. So you
just don't know. Georgia Tech's leading the pack because they already have a conference win under their belt against North Carolina this past week. So Georgia Tech's got to feel good also.
True.
But NC State plus 8.5. That's my first pick. My second pick, like Greg said, Alabama minus 7.5 against Arkansas. Same one as Greg. They've just been so impressive this year that I find it difficult to envision someone coming within 10 points of them right now. I'm going to ride Alabama pretty much almost every week until they don't cover. Their lines I just don't feel like they're getting enough respect. 7.5. Arkansas, people love Arkansas that much. I think people are out there wanting to hit the team that beats Alabama.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the week Alabama goes down. This is the week Alabama goes down. No, it's not.
I do like Ryan Mallett a lot, though. I do like Arkansas and Ryan Mallett and that big offensive line, but it's
different world.
It is. I mean, Alabama. I mean, even after replacing 9 guys on defense, that defense still just looks. They look to be the best in the nation.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're just unbelievably strong up front and quick.
And Ingram and Richardson together now.
Just
ridiculous. They're unstoppable.
Man, those runs that Ingram had were just unbelievably fun to watch.
I can't wait to watch that game. That Alabama-Arkansas game.
It's going to be
it's going to be an entertaining game, but 7.5, I'll give them that.
Yeah.
It could be a good game and they still cover 7.5. My third pick, another agreement with Greg on this one. Stanford minus 4.5 against Notre Dame. We're adding up Oregon's cumulative point total. Stanford, if you were to do it with Stanford, is pretty impressive also.
Yeah.
I think they absolutely killed 68-24 against who they just played this past week. It was a pretty decent team, or what most people thought was a pretty decent team.
I know they beat.
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
No, not a good team, but 68-24.
Wake Forest, UCLA. I mean, they've just been and
they crushed UCLA.
Yeah.
Stanford looks
UCLA.
good. I like Stanford. Wow. Minus 4.5 at Notre Dame. So I got 3 road teams right now.
Yeah.
All 3 road teams. This is scary. 4th road team, Oregon State plus 17 going to the Smurf turf in Boise State. Oregon State's good. Boise State's good. I think Boise State's going to win the game. I definitely think Boise State's going to win the game. But 17 is a lot.
I don't like this pick, Rob.
I'm
on the record saying I don't like it.
Oregon State with the
Boise
Rogers
State
brothers.
This is the thing. Boise State doesn't have to blow out Oregon State. They just have to win the game. Really, they just have to win the game.
I disagree. I think Boise State has to cover this line. They have to make
they
have to make it an impressive win.
It can be.
They have
they're
to.
a good
And I think
team.
they're going to.
A 10-point win against Oregon State is an impressive win. A two touchdown win against Oregon
Fair
State
enough. I'm not
is
saying
an impressive win.
that Boise State would have been like one of my favorite plays this week, but
I like Oregon State. I think they're very good. I think Louisville played very well against them last week, which is why this line is so high for Boise State, because Oregon State, I think a lot of people's eyes didn't look good against what many people feel is a very sorry Louisville team.
Horrible Louisville team.
But I don't think Louisville's that bad at the end of it, as bad as people think they are.
To
Play the way they did. Oregon State played good in that game.
I can agree.
Oregon State didn't turn the ball over. They moved the ball down the field. Louisville's offense actually, if anything, looked suspect. It was Oregon State's D, but I think Oregon State's going to be able to put up points against Boise State. Plenty of points to cover a 17-point line.
I'm on his side. I think Boise State. I think Boise State wins that game.
We'll see who's right. The guys that are under 500 or the person that's 13-2. My final pick.
Touche.
Another one that I actually agree with Greg on. Arizona -7 against Cal. Cal did not inspire me with a lot of confidence the way they looked against Nevada.
No.
They had an infinite amount of problems, but I'm sure they're not going to be alone in this, trying to stop Colin Kaepernick. And Arizona's got a pretty good offense as well. So I like Arizona to win by at least double digits against Cal. I think Cal is kind of reeling. You didn't know what to expect from Cal this year. Kevin Riley, I was not impressed with Kevin Riley at quarterback at all. I thought he was a lot better than this.
yeah, I think he's pretty bad too.
He did not look good to me.
Even during the broadcast of it, the announcers were talking about that they thought his release was awful and slow.
It didn't look like. I mean, did not impress me at all with this play. So hopefully I can keep up my roll. We'll see.
It is an amazing run. 13-2 is amazing. I don't know if people really appreciate how good that
Difficult it is to go 13-2 against the spread in college football. It's pretty tough.
It is.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said so. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to back it up with another good week.
Right.
So NC State, Bama, Stanford, the Cardinal, Oregon State, and Arizona. I love the Pac-10 this week. I love the Pac-10
You're a big
this week. I
fan
don't
of
know why.
Pac-10.
We'll see. Get up.
We'll save you some.
Yeah.
We'll save you some action in there.
So hopefully,
If we all have to say one absolute lock, which one of your picks out of your five is your?
which one of my five?
Would you say
If I were only putting money on one game, Alabama.
Alabama, absolutely.
That would be the one.
You know, I would have to say that I didn't even pick them as one of my 5 picks of the week. But I mean, if I one automatic lock, yeah.
But you don't even have them as one of your 5 picks.
Air Force is my 1 and my 5 that I put my money on, hands down. I think Air Force is going to just roll Wyoming in that game.
All right, very good. We'll see how it all turns out on Saturday. That's it for that.